This is my first time running with you guys. Been in the guild for probably a month, but first time.
It's all good. I hope you guys know where you're going, because I'm just following.
But they still outnumber us. My forces will keep them engaged here.
You will not be fighting alone, Terrellian. The demons will pay for every step with their blood.
Some Garrus seeks to corrupt the other Titans. Don't stop them. Their pantheon will be reborn.
Taurus lies before us.
There's no time to waste.
Power behind the
I'm already inside, Mike.
Well, aren't you fancy?
Spite and Stairfish are here with me. We need a warlock.
We had one.
I can go log on my warlock. I end up doing the same amount of damage anyway.
Did you say you can go lock on your warlock?
Log on.
Hi, Joshua. Please don't do that.
He literally stopped what he was doing when you said his name.
Hey Josh, be a good boy. Instead of pressing the spacebar, press the number 1 over and over and over.
Now he's trying to find it.
Anyone need a summon?
I do.
Anyone else?
Appreciate it.
Go DJ, I'll keep you alive.
Never heard that before.
Well, Katie's here too, so we should be okay.
Thanks, Brian, for the vote of confidence.
Well, I think that was more confidence in you than me.
Seconded.
I also assume, Katie, that you are a higher item level than me now.
Maybe I got a couple good gear drops. What are you at right
Careful. Back up.
935.
now? Oh. Ouch. I forgot how much this part hurts. Brian, I ended up making it up to 947 by some stroke of some good gear. And that Titan forging on the legendaries. Or not Titan forging. Oh.
Spread out for this.
Well, you should be doing lots of healing. Because I'm only 935.
Yo.
If you have the debuff, stop moving. Spread out and stop moving. Welcome to the part of the instance that hates melee.
Witches! You call that? Twisting the spirits of the Titans, forcing them to use their might to serve the Legion.
Should they fall to darkness, Sargeras will have the power he needs to claim the final Titan.
Solution down here. Jump down, everyone.
What just one-shot me there?
I have no idea. What does your
Okay,
combat log said?
I just had one really big number.
Lash of Punishment looks like. I don't know what that is though.
Thanks for the food.
Cauldron's left side.
Thanks for the cauldron.
Oh, did Vanny put it? Or
Yep.
Where is the cauldron?
Right next to Brian.
Next to the feast.
and I can get the cauldron next week because I think you got the last two.
Okay. There's enough flasks in the guild bank, so you don't need to farm anything if you don't want to.
Oh, sweet. That's great. Farming's not my favorite thing in the world.
Remember to always be near people. We're going to start on green. After the 3 or 4 portals spawn, we move to moon. Don't be in front of the boss. Any questions about this?
Why are you always a turkey?
So I like to gobble up some loot.
True.
Oh, that was a good one.
Thanks, Evasis. Sorry.
Do you want Lust on pole?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll pop it once we all get set.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware. 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 Beware.
Stay. Don't run away from the group.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's how you die in this one.
Got it.
Beware. Beware. Beware.
We cannot allow this wretch to savor victory. Enough of it. Claim them all.
Close.
His fate was ours to decide.
Master is incoming.
You will pay for your insolence, mortals.
And behind us. Did we hit the enrage timer?
Barely.
I'm out of range.
I wasn't even paying attention to that. All right. Who has not done this fight entirely?
Me.
Okay. Yeah. Well, welcome to LFR. This is a council fight. The ads need to be split apart, unlike LFR, because they get a damage shield when they're next to each other. The main thing really to watch out is that Nora has a frontal cleave attack that stacks on the tank. So whichever tank is actively on Nora should be facing away from the raid. And then she'll throw out one of her swords that puts a red dye on the ground that slowly moves back to Nora. You don't want to be on that, and you don't want to be in between the sword and Nora. So, melee. We are going to be on whichever sister is not Nora, which will be, I think, Asara at first. Asara and Dimia, there's just some extra stuff on the ground. There's not too much to worry about. Dimia has a other tank debuff that needs to be swapped on. You can swap roughly on 3 for each. So whichever tank gets 3 first, you swap them. The Dimia tank debuff will snare you, so tanks be ready for that. And then I think Dimia is the one that has the healing debuff. So healers, you might see a debuff that's just a healing absorb. It stuns you forever long, or you get stunned proportional to how much healing you have left. So less you have in the healing absorb, the less you get stunned. And those are most of the sisters' abilities. We don't really have to worry about anything else. So melee, you're going to be on the one that's not Nora. Ranged, you can be on either. They share health. Now, every 90 seconds, we're going to get a Titan ability. And we have to react to them very differently. Khaz'goroth will summon ads. Basically, let me mark one. You see these lines on the ground that I just marked. Khaz'goroth will spawn an ad behind them and then start shooting fire into the center of the room. So when Khaz'goroth's about to spawn, we want to get over into one of these areas and sort of just work our way around the room, killing the ads. Amun-Thul will spawn an ad, 4 ads around the room, roughly around here, and then mirrored. Oh.
Reset.
Leroy.
So Amun-Thul will spawn over here. We need to focus fire them down because they have a long cast, and when the long cast completes, they heal for full and apply a stacking debuff on the raid. So we'll probably just kill the one that's closest to us, which I'll mark with X, or skull, sorry, and then we'll just walk around the room. Golganeth basically deals damage to you whenever you're near another person, so we need to spread out. This is particularly important for melee because we're probably not going to have enough room. So melee, we might have to split off and go to different ads for Golganeth. We want to make sure we're not stacked on each other when the ad spawns. And then the last one is Norgannon. Norgannon will spawn I think it's 5 giant ads on each side of the room where we're at right now, like the area we're at right now. They have 1 health and an immunity shield that lasts 30 seconds. And then they have this purple dying beneath them. If you are in that purple dying, you will die very, very quickly. So what we need to do is stun, snare, knockback, do whatever to create openings in the lines of Norgannon, and then sneak back against these walls, so that way we have enough time to let the immunity shield run out. Yeah, knockback's not great. Gorfian's Grasp is very good.
Yep, I got it.
The regular grip is not so good, because you just pull an add to you that then kills you immediately. And then they just cycle throughout the fight. I'll be calling out which Titan ability is about to happen and what we need to do throughout the fight. Yeah, Norgannon's not good. Golganeth also is not great for LFR, but it shouldn't be too bad with our raid size. Any questions? Yeah, I could do that Stairfish. So either be killing X or Moon. There will be a time when both of them are up, in which case it doesn't really matter. Oh, and then the important thing with Norgannon, we have to split essentially into two different groups, because otherwise the bosses will be sharing the damage shield. So healers, just make sure someone sticks near one of the tanks for that. Any other questions? Let's give it a shot. We're gonna lust on. We're gonna lust when Amin Thul shows up. So I'll call for that.
Perfect. I'll be ready for it.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
First is going to be Norgannon. Got a minute left, so plenty of time.
Beware.
15 seconds until Norgannon get in the center of the room.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
I just taunted it back.
Beware.
Norganon is the worst.
You were right to fear the dark.
We can wipe.
You were right to fear the dark.
Beware.
So about Norganon, what you should be trying to do is get to one of the walls as quickly as possible. When the ads reach the other side of the room, they don't go all the way to the wall. So if you're sort of hugging the wall, you'll be safe. They stop, I don't know, they give you like 5 yards to sort of move around. So what you want to do is, as soon as you see an opening that you can sort of sneak around the ads, do so and get up against the wall, and then you should be okay. And then ranged, as soon as the damage shield drops, just start. This is especially for like the hunters. And then just like start multi-shotting or whatever to clear up the space. Yarp.
Oh, crap.
Beware.
DJ, was that your son?
No, I can't blame him. He's going to bed. I ate, I'm just fat, I guess.
Just be careful, everyone.
Mike, you want to remark?
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I can't wait to hear your flesh sizzle. I want to see your limbs roasted.
Beware. Beware.
I want to see your limbs roasted.
We're gonna get Khaz'groth first.
Beware.
Gotta move him away.
Get out of the middle.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Need to move, Rude.
Beware. Beware.
Amanthul is next.
Beware.
We're going to focus the one closest to melee, which is on X.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
Lust.
Enjoy my icy rest before you are frozen solid. Your pieces will make a fine trophy.
Beware.
Enjoy my icy caress before you are frozen solid.
Beware.
Golganeth is next,
Enjoy my icy caress
which is the spread out one.
you are frozen solid.
Beware.
4, 3,
Enjoy
2,
my icy
1.
caress
Spread out.
before you are frozen solid.
Coming straight at you through the storms of Golgotha.
Enjoy my icy
Beware.
caress before you are frozen solid.
And Norganon is next.
Enjoy my icy caress before you are frozen solid.
Beware.
Enjoy my icy caress before you are frozen solid.
Beware.
Norganon soon.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Get to the center of the room. Create your openings. Get to the wall.
Enjoy my icy caress before you are a fine trophy. Enjoy my
Do we have a
icy
res?
rest before you are frozen solid.
Obviously I did something wrong, but I used Displacer Beast, and I thought I angled myself so I wouldn't hit them, but apparently I did.
See your limbs roasting. Enjoy my icy caress before
Oh
you
well.
are frozen solid.
I think you guys got it.
Golganeth soon.
Enjoy my icy caress before you are frozen solid. I want to see your limbs roasting.
4, 3, 2, 1.
They're coming straight at you through the storms of Golganeth.
Enjoy my icy caress before you are frozen solid. I want to see your limbs roasting.
I don't think I should have said that.
Enjoy my icy caress before you are frozen. Your pieces will make a fine trophy.
Yep, it's okay.
Another body for the fire. Your pieces will make a fine trophy. Another body for the fire.
So Brian, I don't know about Displacer Beast.
No, I was using it just to get through quicker, and I thought I had an opening, but I thought I had angled myself properly, but I didn't.
Okay, because I was definitely trying to blink through Norganon on my mage, and it didn't end well.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to do that. It's like my character did turn when I should have.
Yep, and definitely to Minimizer's point, especially on Golganeth, be very careful. It's better to walk to the ads to make sure you stay spread out. Because you could definitely jump over someone and kill them. But yes, a very good attempt. We had some problems with Gorgoneth. But yes, those are the two big ones we need to worry about. Healers, there's not really a single place we can use healing cooldowns. It might make sense to save one of them for Aman'Thul, especially if we get to higher stacks, but feel free to use it whenever it makes sense to you.
Hey, is Chilled Blood, is that a magic debuff?
It can't be cleansed.
Well, I was just trying to make sure I show it on my grid properly. I think it says it's a Frost School magic. I'll assume that. I'm just trying to make sure I see who has the Chilled Blood debuff.
Any questions? I marked Nora, so basically don't hit X.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I am the chill running down your spine. I want to see your limbs roasted.
Beware.
Amanthul is first in a minute.
Beware.
We'll kill the ad closest to blue.
Beware.
I want to see your limbs roasted.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Lust.
Beware.
See your limbs roasted.
Beware.
I want to see your limbs roasted.
Beware.
Morganon next in 20 seconds.
Four, 3, 2.
Get to the center for Morganon.
Beware.
I want to see your limbs roasted. Enjoy my icy caress before you are frozen solid.
I'm out of range. Beware.
Enjoy my icy caress before you are frozen solid.
Khazgroth next.
Beware.
Enjoy my icy caress before
Khaz'Garath soon out of the middle.
2, 1.
The demons are turning the Shaper's flames against you!
Beware. Beware.
Golganeth is next in 30 seconds. That's the spread out one.
Enjoy my icy caress before you are frozen solid.
Beware.
Uh, 5 seconds on Golganeth.
2, 1.
Be careful of charges and jumps.
Enjoy my icy caress before you are frozen solid. I want to see your limbs roasting. Enjoy my icy caress before you are frozen solid.
We're gonna get Norgannon again.
Enjoy my icy caress before you are frozen solid.
4, 3,
Norgannon soon to the middle.
1.
Enjoy my icy caress before you are frozen solid.
Need to be res.
I want to see your limbs roasting. Enjoy my icy caress
Switch, dude.
before you are frozen solid.
Just burn the boss.
Before you are frozen solid.
Ignore Aman'Thul.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Nice.
Very nice.
Mass res incoming.
They endured so much suffering. Let me bide with them for a time.
offer a better comfort. Remain here, Magni.
All right. Congratulations, everyone. That's a guild first.
Nice.
Let's go kill Agramar. We're gonna clear trash and then we'll take a quick break once we get to Agramar.
This may be the one place in the universe sacred to the
Mortals, I wasted millennia fighting to spare you from corruption. Until at last, my eyes were opened to the truth. You are the corruption. We will save the universe by wiping all memory of you from existence. Soon comes the awakening of my brother.
Agramar does that.
Together, our new pantheon will join the Master in breaking your fettered worlds. But you live to see it.
I have heard all the prattling I can bear. Let us show this lackey of Sargeras that he has no claim to our world.
All right. We're gonna take a break, but before everyone goes on break, I want everyone during the break to open up Wowhead and take a look at the Agramar strategy guide. And there is a section there that goes over his abilities at 100% energy. This is particularly important for tanks, but everyone should sort of look at it. It's called the Taishalok technique. So take a break, take a look at it, and we'll come back with the rest of the explanation.
How would you spell that?
Just go to Wowhead and look up the Agramar guide. It's the drop down on the top. You go to Raids, and then there's Agramar under Seat of the Pantheon. And it's like the first big section. There's 5 boxes in a row in a line. I just posted the link to the section in Discord.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright. Before I get started on the rest of the fight, does everyone understand the technique? He will cast that every time he reaches 100 energy. Mainly, Raid is gonna stack on melee, which is gonna be behind him, and then the tanks will go through their rotation until Searing Tempest when we all run away. Now, the rest of the fight. Tanks, you need to be stacked on top of each other in front of the boss. He has a stacking debuff that you're just going to have to taunt off of. But you will still be taking damage during off-tanking, because if you look at his buff, he basically hits the nearest person. Melee, probably stacked up behind him. Ranged, you want to be spread out. He has an ability called Scorching Blaze that basically ignites you with fire and causes you to pulse fire damage. And the only way to avoid that is being spread out. He also does an ability called Wake of Flame, which spawns 5 or 6 pillars of fire behind him that then shoots out. Everyone needs to avoid these pillars of fire. And it's one of the things where we just need to pay attention to where he's at, what they look like, and the positions they follow, because it's the same pattern every single time. It's basically a cone, so you can be between them or go on the other side. Then at 80 and 40%, he has an intermission phase. These intermission phase, he basically gets to the center room and puts a shield up. Don't be near him because the shield hurts. And ads spawn around the edge of the room. There are small ads and big ads. The big ones need to be picked up by the tanks and split apart. And in particular, don't go near the small ads, while the DPS snares, stuns, and crowd controls the smaller ones until all of them are dead. Once the small ones are dead, we shift and kill the big ones. And then he goes into phase 2. Phase 2 is the exact same, except he will now spawn fire zones instead of the fire pillars. The fire zones basically just target a random ranged person and puts a giant red dying zone underneath you. So just be spread out. Spread out even more than usual, and you should be okay. We go through another intermission phase. This time with meteors falling from the sky. Just don't stand in the dying. And then we have the last... Ads come in the second intermission.
Yeah, they do.
Yep. Oh, I misheard you. Yeah, it's the same as the first intermission, but with meteors. And then finally, we have phase 3, which is the same as phase 2, except the fire zones spawn flame pillars kind of like Odin and his spears. So there's the big AoE, and they shoot out pillars of flame. Just avoid them. Keep an eye on them. It's really the only thing you can do. Spread out. Range, just make sure you're never... The only time you need to be in melee is when he's casting his technique. So I'll call out Foe Breaker, in which case everyone needs to stack on melee, which I'll mark. And that's basically the fight. Do we have any questions?
Wait, wasn't it not Foe Breaker? It was the other one. It was the flame one that we stacked for, right?
So yeah, so we stack on 4 Flame Rend, but we can start stacking when he's casting Foe Breaker, which is going to be pointed away from us. Also, you're real quiet, Salvation.
That's probably better.
That is much better. So yeah,
Mine was up.
So it just gives you, when you start seeing Foe Breaker, and that's what I'll call out because I'm going to be focused on other things, that means stack on Moon. And then on the Flame Rend, there's going to be a knockback, and then we get back into position, we get hit again, and then we run away. All right. Any other questions?
Should we create DPS assignments for the side of the rooms for the ads during intermission?
We can. The main thing is we just want to the main thing, what we can do is let's kill the ad closest to Skull first. Ranged, spread out along the back of the room to snare and CC the others, while melee will capture the one by Skull. And then, judging by how the intermissions go, I'll change that assignment around.
When, excuse me, when would you like Bloodlust?
Good question.
And also, it looks like we need to reflask, I think.
We will. Let's lust in the final phase, so I'll call for it. Any other questions? All right, everyone reflask. On you, tanks.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
3, 2, 1.
Stack on Moon. Stack on Moon.
Only one of you tanks that hit.
Yeah. And then you run away from this. I assume we don't have a second res.
Nope.
No.
4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, let's do the intermission to see what it's like. All right, we can wait. So on the technique, you need to be alternating which ability you take. So if you get hit by foe render, that means you need to not get hit by it again, and vice versa. So the way sort of to talk through what was on Wowhead, tank A stands in front of the boss. Tank B goes to the raid. Tank A hits or takes foe render. Tank B hits flame rend. Tanks swap position. Tank B continues and takes foe rend. Then tank A taunts and tanks flame rend. Does that make sense? And you should only be getting hit by one of the abilities at a time. That's the other option if it's a little bit easier. You can have one tank handle. Yeah. I don't know, tanks, if you want to talk it out. Yeah. What Minimizer is basically saying is tank A handles foe breaker, spins him around for flame rend, and then tank B taunts, then does both. Flame rend. So the first one is away from the raid, the second one is on the raid, the third one is away from the raid, and then fourth on the raid. Oh yeah, if you're talking about before technique, it's you always are stacking. Then whoever is not getting foe rend is going to run away. Any questions about that? It's okay, Duke.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
Four, 3,
Technique soon.
1. 4.
Beware.
3, 2, 1.
Alright, stack on moon.
Switch sides.
Stack on moon. Run away.
Out.
Four, 3, 2,
Beware.
1.
Intermission.
Beware. No escape.
Beware.
Technique soon.
4, 3, 2, 1.
On move.
I do come to this side.
Switch sides. Duke.
I'm sorry. I
Run away, little girl. Run away.
Run.
Beware. Beware.
4, 3, 2, 1.
On move.
I'll take the hit.
On move.
Run away, little girl.
Out.
Beware.
No escape.
How much longer on res?
2 minutes.
I see 56 seconds.
Yeah, my timer is different. It rolled over from 2 minutes down to less than 1 minute right after I said it.
It's okay.
That wasn't a bad attempt. That was decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a lot easier than I thought.
Nothing can stop our crusade.
Range, just remember to stay spread out. Hugging your friends is not what you do in this fight.
Yes, please make sure people are spread out.
I thought hugging was always good.
Not in the World Soul.
Agamar does not approve of hugs.
That makes sense.
Thanks for the feasts, Andrew.
Yeah, man, you're awesome.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Technique soon.
3, 2, 1.
Stack on Moon.
Go to the other side, dude. There you go. Now switch sides again.
Go on Moon. Now run away.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
Intermission soon.
Tesselact's power is unleashed.
Technique soon.
4, 3,
Still got a Scorching Blaze first.
1.
On Moon.
Nope.
Sorry.
On Moon. Run. Remember to be spread out and away from melee.
Beware.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Technique soon. Get to Moon.
Other side, dude.
Get to Moon. And run away. We're gonna get intermission soon.
I'm gonna use Tranquility right now.
Spread out. Lust. Watch the pillars.
Beware.
4, 3, 2,
Technique.
1.
On Moon. On Moon. Get ready to run through him around because he's gonna.
Beware. Beware.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Technique. On Moon. Careful of the knockback. We're gonna have to rotate a little.
Nice.
Ah.
Stare.
Wow, great job.
Woo, congrats.
Well done, everyone.
So long as Sargeras has the soul of Argus to fuel his infinite armies,
Titans can sever that connection. Not here.
Alright, time to end this.
To their place of power, the seat of the Pantheon.
The very cradle of creation.
The
Talk to
videos we
Magni.
watched earlier said that the last boss wasn't as bad as this one.
Yep.
Heroes, and signal the Titans to begin. Once they start their ritual, there's no turning back. These stones have tales to tell. All right, everybody. The seat of the Pantheon.
That which you have stolen
Alright.
will be your undoing. Rise, Argus. Rise, my broken world. Mortals, the time has
So,
come to fight
uh,
for the fate of your
people still watching the fancy video?
I was.
It's okay.
Turkey time.
Talk to Magni. Do you see it, Rudolin?
Yeah, thanks.
Alright, so phase one. This is going to be sort of ring around the rosary bush. Tanks will be facing in one direction. Raid will be stacked behind him. When he casts what's it called? Cone of Death, which is at 100 energy. He leaves behind a whole bunch of dying behind him. It's going to target a random raid member. We're going to then slowly rotate around the room. If you get targeted by Soul Blight Orb, run behind the raid and avoid and drop the Zone of Death behind us. We're trying to sort of maximize the amount of time we have in phase 1. Phase 2, we're going to get to the center of the room, and he's going to clear out all the dying, and we're going to... There's more dying that we need to avoid. There's lines. The main thing is, again, we've got Volatile Souls, which is Soul Bursts and Soul Bombs. If you get Soul Burst, run away from the raid. Oh, sorry. So phase 2, tanks, you want to move him to orange. And I'll move this marker. You want to tank him around orange. One of you in phase 2 will get the the avatar of Agrimar. And when he casts Soul Bomb, the person with Soul Bomb and the tank with Agrimar's Boon will go to green. Basically, if there's a if you're near the tank with Agrimar's Boon, the tank takes the damage for you. So, yeah, basically hug. This is a hug appropriate fight. So Soul Bombs to green, Soul Bursts to other sides of the room. And that's basically phase 2. Phase 3, there is a whole bunch of ads that we need to interrupt. In particular, we need to interrupt Cosmic Beacon. Tanks, one of you will need to pick up the ad with the Sword of the Cosmos. And the other one will want to tank the one with the Blades of the Eternal. Whoever has Swords of the Cosmos, you want to drag the ad to the center of the room and tank him there. The Blades of Eternal just hits very hard. And we need to DPS these guys down. Now, here's the important thing. In phase 3, we get a boon from Norganon. Each ad will take 100% damage from a school of magic or damage. So, holy, physical, nature, shadow, etc., etc. Find the one that corresponds to the damage you deal and deal damage to it. So, Vanny, you're on holy. Warriors and me were on physical. I could also go to nature. And then etc. Frost DKs, you can go to Frost. And then once you've killed the ad that matches your damage affinity, just find the nearest one that's low on health and just finish DPSing them down. Now, phase 4 is the fun one. I'm gonna not spoil the surprise because it's pretty cool. But just be ready to sort of listen to what I call out. The main things are don't stand in the dying. And if you do die, there will be trees around the room that you can run to and resurrect. Healers, you will be able to heal the trees and keep them alive. And then in the spirit realm, avoid the ads and just go to the tree. And the orbs I didn't actually get to. Andrew, can you just explain that real quick? I think we just...
So they're like the soften rage. More will spawn each time. You need to get to them as fast as they can because they start dropping a circle under them that keeps growing the longer they're up. And eventually, if you don't kill it fast enough, it'll just consume the room, and it does like a one-hit damage.
Are those the orbs you run around in after you die in the spirit realm before you hit the tree? Is that the same thing?
The orbs that you kill in the regular realm drop those orbs.
Okay, gotcha. And then you're supposed to collect those ones in the spirit realm, right? Or run through them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Questions?
Yeah, and so here I'll type it.
Okay. So they'll be the ones that aren't casting. And it sounds like the swords will move around. Yeah, it's random. They get big. Yeah, they do get big. So it's pretty obvious. The main thing is if you have sort of the cosmos, bring him to the center. If they have Blades of the Eternal, keep them on the outside of the room. Because sort of the cosmos buffs the ads near him. But let's give it a shot. Let's start learning it.
Sounds like a good plan.
Also, for what it's worth, if you're not familiar with the Pantheon trinkets, just make sure you're on your loot spec for your primary spec for this guy. He drops pretty good trinkets for each roll. So yeah. And yeah, in general, watch out for my callouts. Don't stand in the dying. Soul bomb to green. On you, tanks.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Raid on Moon. The entire phase 1, you're gonna stay on Moon.
Try not to stack the buffs though.
Behind if you have the debuff. Oh, forgot about that.
Like separate those with a little bit of area.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
You guys need to stack on the same side.
Yeah, get on Moon. Go around. Get on Moon. Soul Blight behind the raid. Let's wipe. So, main thing for phase 1, stack on Moon, and we're going to always go to the right, facing the boss, after each Cone of Death. Soul Blight goes behind the raid. Think of it sort of like Harjatan and Tomb of Sargeras, except instead of going to the side, you want to go behind. And then the other thing I forgot is the orbs. You'll sometimes get, let me get the name. Yeah, Gift of Sea or Gift of Storm. You want to spread them to the either the on Moon or sort of to the right of us. If you're underneath Gift of the Sky, you get Critical Strike and Mastery. If you're underneath Gift of Sea, you get Haste and Versatility. I believe C is the white one. So whichever one makes sense for you, just stand underneath it. You can't stack both of them, so just pick one. Yeah, just stand under one per cast. And it does stack, so you want to sort of keep going with the same one the entire time. Questions about that?
What were you doing with Soul Blight again?
Go behind the raid.
Just go behind the raid, okay.
So when Soul Blight expires, you leave behind a dying zone. So we want to get that covered by the Cone of Death.
Makes sense.
But that also means for Soul Blight people, you don't want to both be stacking on top of each other, so that means one of you needs to go further behind than the other. Because usually two will be targeted.
And we are moving counterclockwise.
We're going to the right, looking at Argus from Moon. So counterclockwise.
Where should the tank that's not tanking be?
I think right on top.
It seems like almost that the off take wants to be with the raid, because I was off to the side and it shot the Cone of Death at me, which surprised me. But I don't know if that was.
Yeah, you want to be on the raid. Sorry. Active tank switches.
Cool.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's get Ritalin up.
Gonna use Trank.
Get to the center. You can take him to orange. Orange, not blue.
I got the Agumon thing.
Oh. So you only go to the green when its soul bomb is cast. And then after it explodes, you can go back in.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Soul bomb soon.
2, 1.
To green.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, we're too close to. We can wipe.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I need to get off, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We're gonna call it here, and we'll We might pick this up on Tuesday. It depends what our makeup is. The one thing I do want to call out, just to think about, the bombs and bursts deal damage to the entire raid. That's dependent on how close you are. So for the bombs, next time I'll create a little bit more of a gap. But we definitely want the bombs to be far away from the raid, as well as the bursts. But we'll handle that next time. Good job, though. We got 2 firsts. And see you on Tuesday.
See you.
Lots of fun. Good night, guys.
Night.
See you, everybody.